rolling down the road in some cold blue steel. I had a blues man on the back and a beautician out the wheel.
Hi, this is Ken Kaplan, the New England Motorcycle Museum, and this is about as close to museum quality as you're going to find a 99 Sportster XL1200C. I bought this from the original owner, Francis Pettit. His wife actually bought this for him as an anniversary present, and this bike was stored. They had a actual like a drive-in lower level to their house with a sliding glass door, so he stored this thing in his living room every winter, which is where I bought it from him this winter. I went to look at a 67 BSA 250 that he had bought brand new, that was in mint shape, and he had this under a cover, and he said he was thinking of selling it. When he pulled the cover off it, my jaw dropped. I ended up opening my wallet wider than I normally would because I knew what I was looking at. This is an absolute showpiece. I paid him $200 over retail value for the motorcycle, which is something as a dealer I hardly ever do, but it's just so hard to find pristine Sportsters. This guy is a 45-year-old man when he bought it. He's 63 when he sold it to me. He's had it for 18 years. And he maintained this beautifully. It was a present from his wife. And we bought the bike in, did a full detail and service on the motorcycle. Hey, Kurt. Sorry, I just got a little distracted. My buddy drove up. But we did a full detail and service on it. And it has 11,600 miles on it. And let me see, we've put 11.2 miles on it since we did the service. 11,749 miles on it. And we did a complete 12,500 mile service on it. I have the full service records inside. If you look at the tires on the bike, take a close up. Those are brand new Michelin, top of the line Michelin Harley Davidson tires. They normally come with Dunlops. This is a Harley Davidson branded tire. They're very expensive, but they're top shelf. They're what I put on my son's Sportster when he took it to Daytona. If you want to be safe, these are the best tires to be on. The bike's gorgeous. It has the blue pearl, metallic blue pearl, and silver ice paint job, factory paint job in fantastic condition. And if you look closely, the chrome Classon badges have a blue pearl inlay, which is a metallic, deep metallic blue. They're absolutely stunning. The inside of the tank's as clean as the outside of the tank. The bars. What struck me on this motorcycle is the chrome. The chrome on the bike is absolutely gorgeous. Francis maintained it beautifully. We did add a couple things to the bike. When we got it, we put these brand new chrome levers on there. I couldn't resist myself. I put some brand new chrome Harley Davidson clutch and brake lever. And of course the Michelin tires. The other thing that struck me about this bike is it's 100% bone stock. The first thing people do is they modify their Harleys when they get them, and quite often not the right way. This bike has a stock intake with a brand new air filter in it, the stock exhaust, so it's really quiet. And I have to say, this is the smoothest 1200 I've ever ridden. It just handles fantastically. This isn't the low model. This has the longer travel shocks on it in the front, longer travel shocks in the rear. So you have a full, probably almost 4 inches of rear suspension travel. And if you look on the back, it's got the brand new Harley Davidson Michelin rear tire. These are called a Michelin Scorcher. That's the model number for the tire, and it has little Harley logos on the side of the tire. It's pretty cool. Everything works beautifully on the bike. Lights, front and rear, horn, everything is exactly like how you would expect a brand new motorcycle to come in. And again, what struck me on this bike, the chrome on the wheels is in much better shape than you would expect a pre-owned Harley to be. It's Bud approved. Bud approves of the bike. He likes it. Buddy Bear. Has a stock 1200 logo on the air cleaner, and the seat's in absolutely perfect shape. It really is truly a show quality bike. Forward controls. I'm 6'2", 215 pounds. But my girlfriend, who's 120 pounds, could ride this thing easily. But I really like the forward controls. It gives you a little more room to stretch out. So let me bring the bike in, and I'll go over all the literature that I have on it and all the work that was done. And I'll take a spin up and down the driveway so you can hear it one more time. Just a fantastic machine. These new Sportsters are now $13,000 out the door for a 1200C. This is just a fantastic bike, and you can buy this for about half of what a new one would cost, and it's in brand new condition. Purrs like a kitten. Listen to the exhaust note on this thing. Inside, I'll read off all the literature and information I have about the bike for you. It's a fantastic machine. Right turn signal, left turn signal, brakes. It's a fantastic running bike. Buddy wants me to shut it off because we're inside. The bike needs absolutely nothing. It's just been completely serviced by the pros at the New England Motorcycle Museum and the Kaplan Cycle Shop. Let me show you a couple of, I have the full provenance on the motorcycle, all original documentation. I've got the original owner's manual, which doesn't have a fingerprint on it. The original deal jacket from D&J Harley Davidson. The original Harley Davidson brochure that comes with it, the odometer disclosure statement from the Harley dealer when he bought the bike brand new. The bike had 14 miles on it when he purchased it, factory miles. This is the actual original D&J Harley Davidson invoice showing the motorcycle out the door was $10,931. The original dealer setup and pre-delivery checklist, the limited warranty transfer form. Very rarely do you get the full documentation of a new motorcycle when you buy a pre-owned bike. Usually this stuff's long gone, but this is an original owner bike, and everything, the paperwork was handled as carefully as the motorcycle has been. Here's the original title, Francis J. Pettit. So I have the registration. I even have the business card of the salesman and the owner warranty identification card. Everything's there. As far as the services that have been done to the bike, again, I want to point out the quality of the chrome on this bike. Quite often, the Harley chrome starts pitting, 5-10 years out if the bike's left outside. This bike has never been in the rain. Repeat, this bike has never seen rain. Was stored in a heated basement. I mean, I've heated lower level on carpeting because that's where I got the motorcycle from. I pulled it out of his house for him. Just a spectacular condition. The rocker boxes, the carbs, the exhaust pipes, everything's spotless on this bike. Truly a museum quality machine. Another thing I want to point out too, the fork lowers, quite often if they're ridden in adverse conditions, the fork lowers, the coating on it pits. The coating on these forks is in pristine condition.
We had a brand new 94 with, or was it a 93?
Yeah, we had a brand new. We had a brand new 93. As Kenny was saying, 100th anniversary model that was in the crate. We pulled it out of the crate, and the forks had the degradation of the coating on it because it was in an environment, I guess, that wasn't less than perfect. So this was stored in an environment where it wasn't under any, moisture or anything like that. The bike just had the full 12,000 mile service, which the engine oil was changed, the rear bolt was adjusted, the transmission lubricant was changed, the brakes front and rear were completely serviced with new brake pads. The gas tank was taken off the motorcycle and cleaned out. The gas was emptied out of the tank, and the carburetor was taken off, and the carburetor was cleaned in our ultrasonic carb cleaning tank. We did the compression test on it. It's 175 front and 175 rear. The carburetor was overhauled with brand new gaskets and jets. so it runs perfectly. It has brand new spark plugs in it. All the fluids in the bike, front to rear, are new. The engine oil, the transmission oil, and the brake fluids on the front. The brakes on this are right up to par. Usually you can pull a lever almost all the way to the grip. This one's right up to par. Brand new brake lever, brand new brake fluid, brand new brake pads, front and rear. The rear master cylinder, the rear brake pads, all the brake fluid was flushed out and refilled. We also put a brand new front motor mount bolt on it. It's got a brand new set of chrome clutch and brake lever, like I said. And also the bike has had a full detail front to back. Polished, waxed, cleaned, Carnauba paste wax put on the tank. Mother's metal polish on all the chrome, so the bike is absolutely spotless. The front wheel was removed from the motorcycle and a brand new Michelin front tire was installed on it. You can still see the hairy nubs on it. A brand new tube and a brand new rim strap on the back, same thing, brand new Michelin tire. The fuel valve was checked and the lines and fittings were checked. The tires are brand new, like I said. All electrical equipment and switches were tested, everything's perfect. It also has a new battery in it, brand new Harley Davidson battery, not a cheap aftermarket one. It's a $150 Harley Davidson battery. The steering head bearings, take a look at this. These were just lubricated. You can still, if you look on this side right here, you can see the grease just poking out, showing that they're perfectly lubricated. And the frame, look at the powder coating on the frame, is like brand new. This frame's beautiful, as is the paint. Again, brake pads front and rear, and the motorcycle was road tested by me and my mechanic. And I'm here to tell you, this thing is as good as you're ever gonna find a Sportster running. It runs like a brand new bike. I think that pretty much summarizes it. Like I said, the cost of a new Sportster like this is about $13,000. To get, this is the top of the line Sportster model, the XL1200C. Has a 21-inch chrome spoke front wheel. The whole engine is wrinkled black and chrome everywhere, right from the factory. And also it has the chrome solid disc rear wheel. Sportster logo on the side of the seat. Just a fantastic motorcycle. And we've been in business quite a few years now, and we've got some repeat customers, like our friend Randy's from Maryland, right? Louisiana. Randy's bought, I don't know, 5 or 6 Sportsters from us because he always says, man, I don't know how you guys sell these bikes so cheap, because they're like brand new. And truly, this is a bike Randy, matter of fact, we're going to send him a message and let him know this one's up for grabs, because this is one that would fit his standards, and he only buys museum quality pieces. And if you want a nicer Sportster than this, buy a brand new one. That's beauty's in the eye of the beholder. As far as a brand new bike goes, your insurance, your taxes, and your registration are going to cost a lot more. The ongoing insurance and the ongoing property taxes on a new bike are a lot higher than a pre-owned bike. And the other thing I want to point out to you on this motorcycle, if you look at the NADA retail value of a 1997 Sportster, this is a 99. The 97s are going up. The 99s are going up. This bike has been fully depreciated. It's not going to be worth less 3 years from now. It's going to be worth more. Once a Harley gets to be 20 years old, they start going up in value. So to find a museum quality, absolutely pristine piece like this, one owner bike, for less than half the cost of a new one, it's a much better investment. As soon as you roll that new one off the floor, that $13,000 bike, it's now a $10,000 bike. 2 years after that, it's an $8,000, then a $7,000, and then they bottom out at around $5,000 or $6,000 at 10, 15 years out, and they start going up. That's how it works. So this is a much better investment. The blue pearl and silver ice paint job is just stunning, and the bike's perfect. It needs nothing. So if you want to have a kick-ass summer, buy this bike. If you want an investment quality bike that's only going to go up in value, buy this bike. A portion of the proceeds are going to fund the New England Motorcycle Museum, so whatever profits, if any, are on this bike, because I think if we're lucky, we'll break even, because on the service ticket, we put over, between parts and shipping, we put just over $1,000. It literally was like $1,002 for parts and shipping, other parts and the tires and everything. And then we had, I believe it was, let me take a look at the sheet here. It's
1,002 on parts, and a total of 18 hours labor. We charge $120 an hour for labor. That includes 4 hours of detailing and 14 hours of mechanic labor. So the total was $2,160 for labor, plus $1,000 in parts. The bottom line with tax was $3,362. If you think you're going to buy a used Sportster that needs tires and brakes and a carb overhaul and intake gaskets and work and fix it up for anything less than a couple $1,000, it's not going to happen. The parts are expensive. There's $1,000 in parts. Everything's new on the bike: tires, brakes, all the fluids, the air filter, the battery, the levers. This thing's perfect. So if you want a bike that's going to be turnkey, buy this bike and spend a little bit more. You know, my dad used to say, spend a little bit more and get the best. You'll never regret it. And that'll be the case with this bike. It'll be good for many, many summers of fun if you take care of it. So good luck bidding on the bike. God bless America. I'm going to ride this baby into the showroom. Everybody can drool on it until it finds a new home. So you can watch me ride out. Picture yourself riding this bad boy.